Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to part 3 of our show now, and we are at Shorncliffe. Now, just a few reminders: we cannot mention people's clients' names in the video, apart from mine. So when we did last episode of Scarborough, I tried to edit the name out, but couldn't do it. So unfortunately, guys, I cannot, without the permission of the person's parents, give names out. I'm sorry about that. So, give Mark now.
Yes, apologies. I believe that was my mistake. I didn't realise that we couldn't use names, so live and learn.
That is all behind us now. And here we are on episode 35 now. Just bring the ducks sleeping around the corner there. Let's show you what we've got. Let's pan around.
I'm going to bring it to the viewers this time, because we can.
Because we can. And look at that, everyone. Look at that. And doesn't it make your mouth want to water right now? Here's Mark now.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get Barry to get his intro over so that we can get into it while it's on.
So we'll come back to you and give you a score out of 10 after we have our lunch and tell you all about it. And we might even go over some of the rules again too. So stay tuned, viewers. The show is not over yet. I'm Barry Ben with Mark English, and here he is.
I'm looking forward to eating, and after I eat, I'm looking forward to coming back.
And we'll be back with you after the lunch break. Stay with us. Well, good afternoon again and welcome back. We just finished our lunch from Doug Seafood, and welcome to you viewers out there this afternoon. It is coming up to half past school here on Monday afternoon. And I just had another phone call from Derek, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But getting back to this lunchtime, right, please. Here's Mark to tell you about it. Good afternoon.
Well, I'm glad that we didn't talk too long. Food was beautiful and hot, and beautiful it was. It looked good, and it was good.
So what was in the package?
Well, you had hung barramundi, there was calamari, and sea scallops, and potato scallops, and chips.
I just had the barramundi, guys. So what a beast. Here's Mark.
Barry's lying, he had the barramundi and half a ton of chips. He's clearly not counting the chips. They were good though, weren't they?
I didn't have all the chips.
No, well, there's leftovers for the birds.
So what we'd like to go over now, I will give you a score out for our lunch.
fish was lovely and moist, so not overcooked, and everything was just right, really. I don't know why I only got 9, but you know, everything was perfect.
So, just going over some privacy rules for ourselves. We can't give out people's names even after they've passed on, so sorry about that. Here's Mark.
Yes, as I said, that was my error, and I apologise. So I hope no harm was done and no offence was taken. But I've learned now, so it won't happen again.
So, let's just take you around. Okay, I'll show you this beautiful part of Shorncliffe. So, here you've got Shorncliffe here. Here's Mark.
All right, I'm just going to spin you around so you're seeing what we're seeing. And
So just look at that view. Just look at that. Nice, clear blue water, guys. Look at that.
it's a shame it's not a nicer day. I don't know if you can see it in this with this camera, but there's a ship out there. Behind the ship is more land, and that's Moreton Island. So Moreton Island in Moreton Bay, and obviously Shorncliffe looks directly across at it, and if we look up that way, the much more prominent land is Redcliffe, so part of the mainland, but from here accessed via a very long bridge, and otherwise the trip would be to get from here to there without that bridge be close to an hour. With that bridge, close to 10 minutes. So makes a huge difference.
And a couple of rules, guys. Okay, if you bring your rubbish in, please do take it out. Here's Mark now.
Yes, absolutely. This foreshore area, exactly the same as all the parks. Whatever you bring in, take out, everybody uses it, and I have to admit that the birds here, you know, if you're not a person that's into birds, you'd hate it. They're abundant and very keen to get into any scraps or anything that's left behind. So much better to get rid of all your rubbish the moment you're done with it.
So, like I've said on many of the videos I've brought to you, don't just pick up your rubbish and go, because it's a disgusting habit. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, well, we're at a very nice little covered eating area on the foreshore. There are bins right next to us for recycling and general rubbish, so everything that you could want is right here. And quite appropriately, there's no rubbish here. So
Except for that little bit there.
that bit of lemon peel. Yeah, I'll take care of that in a moment.
So, guys, this is a series called Out and About. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so Barry's decided to rename a bit of the series and redo some of it, and so the idea is to show you what's out and about for Barry and where he can get to and the places he can go things he can see and join in on. And I'm looking forward to many more episodes.
And like I said, this is episode 35 today. So it's sort of like us, the Leyland brothers. Here's Mark now.
Ask the Leyland brothers, without the terrible music and no four-wheel drives. Oh, that's not true. Oh no, this is only a two-wheel drive, isn't it? So, yeah, no four-wheel drives, and but all about what's accessible around the Brisbane region, and you know, places that Barry can get to and enjoy.
So we'd like to hear from you this afternoon on where you'd like us to film. Here's Mark.
Yes, we have a plan for next week, but I'll save that for next week, and hopefully people can send in ideas and give us some inspiration for places that are well worth seeing that are obviously wheelchair accessible.
So before you go, look up on your internet where the accessibility is. Find out where it is, whether they've got accessible bathrooms there, a cafe where you can get to, that sort of thing. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so we know from some of our out and abouts that some places are fantastic for access and other places are absolutely terrible. Sometimes we find out the hard way, but some of them are a bit of a surprise. So just certain streets in Brisbane are impossible for Barry to cross in his wheelchair because the only ramped access is so steep that you get stuck with the hard wheels at the back lifting the drive wheels away from the road surface. So there's been a couple of places in Brisbane just trying to get around the footpaths where it's absolutely a no-go zone.
So you may recall on episode 17 where we crossed the Story Bridge. That was on Mark's very first appearance with me. We had a few dilemmas there. Here's Mark.
Yes, getting to the bridge was a significant issue and part of my learning curve. So I honestly didn't realise that the chair could get tripped up by slope of the road and the very acute angles of some of the ramp paths that take you down from the road onto the footpath or footpath down to the road. And with the gutter in there, it did leave Barry stranded a couple of times, and we had to muscle you in the chair into a position where you could move again. So, and that happened a few times. I just think that part of Brisbane is quite old, and those ramps have been there, well, a very long time, and clearly have not been designed with motorised chairs in mind.
So viewers, we'd like to hear from you where you'd like us to film. So far on Out and About, we've done strap point. We've done Scarborough a fair few times. We've done Fortitude Valley a couple of times.
New Farm Park.
New Farm Park, we've done that. Okay, so we've done a fair few episodes on parks. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, well, most of the parks, once you're there, we get around quite easily, don't we? And they've been easy to navigate and for Barry to get around. So it's more, the plan next week is something quite different. So hopefully that goes well, and we make the most of the day. I'm sure we'll be able to look at some interesting spots.
So before you even plan your day, check the weather forecast. Here's Mark.
Yes. Luckily today's clear. It's a touch cool, hence the jumpers. So it's a pretty nice day for getting around, actually, apart from it being just a fraction cool. So it wouldn't do to be caught in torrential rain, obviously. We do have umbrellas, but once the rain's torrential,
if you get saturated, guys, and you've got no wet weather gear, well, you've had it. Here's Mark.
You're going to be very cold for the afternoon, aren't you?
And very sick. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so we do try and plan, depending on what the weather's going to do and where we're going. Obviously, some of the places that we go, we can stay indoors if it does rain, or get indoors if it rains, but other times we'd just be trapped out in the rain. So better to know in advance whether you're going to be needing some kind of wet weather gear, but it'll be unusual if we went out if it was terrible weather, just because it makes life that much harder.
And do you remember on episode 21, going back to June 14th, 2 months ago, boy oh boy, I couldn't even finish episode 21. Here's Mark.
Oh, that was the first trip to Scarborough.
The first one, yeah.
Yes. Wow. That was, yes, you found out you had COVID when you got home. So that was, well, you were pretty all right in the morning, but certainly by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you had gone downhill fast. So, and then we had to wait so long for a taxi that day, and you were flagging badly.
Now, I don't know what flagging means.
Just means you were getting worse and worse and worse, and getting more and more tired. You could see that you were getting sniffly and coughing, so you were definitely getting worse as the afternoon went on. Hence that's what flagging means, really.
So if you'd like us to film anywhere in Brisbane whilst I'm still here, please let us know. Here's Mark.
Yep, happy to organise anything that we can achieve. I'd like Barry to see as much of Brisbane as possible before he heads back to Sydney. So any ideas are welcome.
And we'd like to you to share your experience with a disabled cab too, whether they've been good in your area or not so good. Here's Mark now.
Yes, our experience is mixed. We certainly understand the dilemma of the limited number of wheelchair accessible taxis and the fact that they don't sit around waiting just for wheelchairs. They have to take fares all the time to pay for themselves and the driver. And of course, you get those occasions where they're all in use. And, you know, we have waited a very long time for taxis on occasions. Even when we've had them booked from the day before, we've had them not turn up within an hour and a half of the booking time that we've booked the day before. So our experience is mixed.
So you may recall when we finished with episode 21, oh boy.
Yeah.
That was frustrating. Here's Mark.
Yes, that was a very long wait. Especially that was one that we had pre-ordered, and I think a solid 2 hours before we wanted it, and it ended up we had to ring another company, and the other one, when I got round to cancelling it, they still hadn't found anyone. So by then it was more than 4 hours from when we'd made the phone call initially.
So if you've got a disabled son or daughter, guys, please book your cabs in advance and even book them the night before. Here's Mark.
Yes. Well, in theory, it does give you your best chance of getting them turning up on time, but our experience would say maybe. But it does, as I said, give you your best chance.
So, we'd like to read this sign to you over here and see what it says. So we'll just take you over there.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, I can't read it from here.
So over here, guys, we have a sign.
So it's talking about the designated Sandgate foreshore off-leash area. So it's a sign with the rules and showing a marked area on the beach where dogs are allowed off the leash. So it is it's one of those areas that has a large sand flat at low tide. The water comes virtually right up to the wall at high tide, but at low tide, which it's still heading towards now, there's at least 100 metres of width of beach, and from where we stand, probably 300 or 400 metres down to one end of the beach, all of which is dog off leash. So there's loads of space for locals to bring their dogs to let them run around on the beach.
So we'll just show you the map on screen now. and someone doing some flying up there.
Yes, there's some problems today.
So there are some kite boarded out today. Well, to close our Shorncliffe program, we'd like to say thanks for tuning in. But before I do leave you this afternoon, okay, it is important to have as much fun as you can and enjoy the most of what you have in life. Here's Mark now to interact on that.
Yep, so you've got to live your life and enjoy it and make the most of what you can do. And Barry is a perfect example of someone that makes the most of what he can do and the time that he's got to get out and about. So take his lead, get out there exploring.
Yeah, because what's the point, guys, of sitting at home doing nothing? Come on, get in your car, get out there, explore. You know, come down here to Shorncliffe, buy some fish and chips from Doug's Cafe or bring a kilo of sausages, invite friends and mates and have a barbecue and just look at the marvelous view that is around here, Mark.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area, and as you say, Barry, beautiful view. So it'd be fantastic, really, for anyone. You know, if you've got little kids, there's loads of space to run around. They can run around down on the sand, or they can run on the grass in the park. It's a beautiful spot. Not too busy with traffic, so you know, relatively quiet.
So the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, that is 000. Please do not ring that number unless you've got an emergency. Here's Mark to close the show with that.
Absolutely, very important that the emergency services aren't held up. You only have to read how difficult their life is already, with issues beyond things that can be utterly prevented, like abuse of using 000. So just keep it for the emergencies.
And next week on the show, we're going to take you on the Brisbane River Cat. And we're going to show you the Story Bridge under us. We're taking you over it now. We're going to take you under it. Here's Mark to preview next week's show with that.
Yep, so we've done a bit of research, and there are a lot of electric wheelchair accessible River Cat stops, and the River Cat has space for wheelchairs to park. So we'll be heading out and about and doing a waterborne exploration of Brisbane using the local ferry system, and greatly looking forward to it. I hope it's a perfect weather day.
We hope that you will join us next Monday morning at the earlier time from 10 to 10, so we can bring this marvelous episode to you. So until we see you on the next episode, this has been Barry Fair, Mark English. That's the end of episode 35 today. hope that you've enjoyed it. Thanks for your company, and we will see you next Monday for a jam-packed episode. But until Mark and I see you again on the next episode, you have a great week, and we will see you next Monday for a jam-packed day. Here's Mark for his farewell.
Take care, everyone. Tune in next week. I'm really looking forward to getting Barry on the River Cats and giving him a completely different view of Brisbane. It's something that I recommend to everyone that comes to Brisbane, is just do the circuit on the River Cat from top to bottom, and it is a beautiful way to travel.
So,
see you next week.
And another bit of news before we go, I've got it from Derek today. Here's Mark.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on one report, and once Derek's got that report, then he can put an application in and see whether the NDIS is going to pay for your move or not, and which is neither here nor there who pays for it, but they may or they may not. And after that, the move is being organised.
And like I said, like at the start of today's show, don't get angry, and that's where we like to end today's episode. So like we've said, if you want us to film anywhere, just comment, tell us in the link below, tell us where you'd like us to do a show, and we'll gladly do it for you. So until next Monday then, at the earlier time of 9:50, Barry Fair and Mark English saying so until next week, have a great 6 days, and we'll see you on the next episode. We look forward to your company then. But until then, everybody, from Mark and myself now, have a great afternoon and Monday night. Have a great afternoon and a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed today's show at Shorncliffe. And we certainly hope that you learned something from it. Here's Mark now for his wrap up on this.
Yep, so lovely day out to Shorncliffe. Pretty easy taxi ride from Barry's place. So once we got there, lovely area, and I have to say, beautiful wide paths with, in very good condition all the way around the foreshore. So it's certainly a beautiful place to travel on wheels, and I'd highly recommend it for a place to get out and about and see some more of the world.
So we'd like to thank you for joining us on episode 35 today. And as Mark and I said, do join us next week. We've got a fun week coming, a fun Monday coming your way. I'm starting at 10 o'clock going to Brisbane on the River Cat. So we will catch you on Monday for another jam-packed day. We look forward to your company then. Here's Mark now.
Yes, greatly looking forward to the opportunity to show Barry around a bit more of Brisbane, from an angle that lots of people never see it from. It's a beautiful way to travel just on a day-to-day basis to get yourself around Brisbane City. And the River Cat, extremely comfortable, smooth, rarely crowded. So it's a great opportunity for us to see just how wheelchair friendly it is.
So we do hope that you will join us next Monday for another fantastic day. But until we see you next Monday from Mark and myself, now it's bye-bye and have a pleasant evening. Here's Mark now for his farewell.
Yes, have a lovely evening and a fantastic week until I catch up with you again next week.
And we look forward to your company. We're gonna show you Brisbane like never before. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, greatly looking forward to it. And I think I was saying to Barry that we'll be able to take a few videos as we go and attach it to the show for the day. So you'll be able to see a lot more of what we see as we're travelling. So I look forward to setting it all up with you next week.
So until then, guys, that's all from us. Have a great Monday evening. Take care, everyone, and we will catch you next Monday for another edition of Out and About. That's what we're calling it. Here's Mark to recap the name change right now.
Yeah, so I like it, Barry. Out and About is exactly what it's literally all about. So great name, and I hope people enjoy it. And you know, if we change the focus a bit more towards access and what you can see and do easily, I hope people get a lot more out of it.
So until we see you next Monday, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.